Hello everybody, my name is John.
And I'm Jess, and we are Real Talk San Antonio.
Yes, and today we are going to be talking about a few things, starting off with, did you have your phone recently just off for a while? And how tragic was that?
Just had it off.
It wasn't working, so the signal of AT&T, because that's kind of interesting.
Did your phone service turn you off?
Yes, did it turn you off?
Big time. Chris Pettit, the shame of San Antonio, has been sentenced.
We're also going to be breaking down what's going on with the traffic on 1604, shed some light with some details, and also possibly end in sight for that as well.
Ooh. After that, we're looking at St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, and a very tragic event starting in San Antonio, ending in Austin. A violent rampage from a gentleman named Shane James. Details on that.
2 first names. It's always a bad sign.
And then finally ending up with our
Dare on Air.
Let's chat.
Well, this is Real Talk San Antonio.
It was only for a couple hours, guys. For AT&T service, I had a major outage, right? But what I find super interesting is how handicapped we all got for those couple hours.
We all got?
Whatever. Okay,
I was golden.
You were golden, but all the cool kids weren't.
What cool kids? I don't see any cool kids anywhere.
So that morning, like I have Wi-Fi, so all the messaging and stuff like that was perfectly fine. But when I got in my car to head out, I was like, my maps weren't working, my music was all weird. Handicapped. But that made me think about, like, man, like, what would have happened if, like, we did have a situation where everything shut off? And as soon as I had that thought during our meeting, I was like, you know what, let me text Ethan. And I texted him, I was like, hey, don't freak out, but phones are going all weird, so if the world ends, meet me at Taco Bell. Because I pick them up there after school every day. But it was just weird. It was like an uneasy feeling.
Taco Bell's the code word?
The code word.
Code word Taco Bell.
But it was just an overall like an uneasy feeling how like we are so
How
reliant.
dependent?
Yeah, we're so dependent on these things.
Yeah. I was just like, what outage? I'm fine.
Yeah, it was just, I just wanted to bring it up real quick because it was weird. I'm interested in seeing if you had an outage too, what your experience was, and just let us know down below if you're kind of freaked out with how dependent
and if you just want to vent about how bad AT&T is and their umbrella of companies, feel free.
Yeah.
Feel free. When Verizon messes up, I'll be venting down there too. So, but I don't know, they never do.
You have an Android, so you probably vent a lot more than everybody else does.
I have an Android with AI now, so it could probably just make its own Wi-Fi signal.
True.
Yeah.
True.
A couple months back, we brought you the story of Chris Pettit, the San Antonio attorney, who defrauded people of millions of dollars, like $20 to $60 million price tags of what he, stole from people. And he has finally been sentenced. And he got 50 years behind bars.
Yeah.
50 years. I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
That's know what? Usually you feel like those quote unquote white collar crimes are usually kind of like slap on the wrist. Oh, you did the wrong thing.
Yeah. So let's recap real quick. So he's an attorney, right? And what exactly did he do in order for him to steal that money?
So he was taking people's trusts and then reinvesting them into things that they had not signed off on. And not only that, but he was reinvesting it in his own trust name. So essentially, I mean, it's stealing. It's just stealing, and then he lost the money because he, whenever you're dealing with stocks and all that, it is a gamble.
Yeah.
And it may have its patterns, but it's still unpredictable.
Yeah.
And so he bet big and he lost big, but he lost big with other people's money.
And that's so sad, man. Like, that's so sad. Like, when we had that conversation, a lot of us are not 100% aware of where to put our money, especially when we start getting money, and we're always careful about it. So putting our trust in someone that's supposed to be educated.
And you think because he's successful and he has a lot of money, oh man, he knows the things, so I can just trust this guy, this person.
Yeah.
But
so, and then also it says that this was the biggest customer, or the biggest amount of money that we've had in Texas for this type of
this kind
crime.
of fraud.
Yeah. It's just insane. So how many years?
50. Don't confuse it with 15. 50. He got 50 years.
It's a long
That's what he
time.
gets, man. Bye. See ya.
Bye. So that was a quick update on Chris Pratt.
Chris Pettit.
San Antonio is growing over.
Like a weed.
It's crazy how much is growing.
A weed on a weed.
And there's always reports on how we just can't catch up with the amount of vehicles on the road.
We all know that's true.
100%. Now, for those who live out here over here by 604 and I-10, you're experiencing a pretty big of a headache because there's a lot of changes going on, a lot of construction and all that.
They've been closing down the highways on the weekends.
Yeah.
That's been fun to reroute through.
And I know a couple of business owners that actually own literally right off of what is it called, military, just right off of I-10, and they're getting affected as well because people are, it's been nuts, So anyway, so what's going on, right? And obviously they're making the highway a little bit more accessible, stuff like that.
Kind of doing what they did on 281. They made it way wider.
Mm-hmm.
And over there it's beautiful now, right?
For sure.
So nice.
It's definitely a better drive, better situation. So here's a 3D rendering of what they're gonna do. They're gonna open it up to 4 lanes, right? So it's gonna be way better. They're also gonna have an HOV lane as well. So at the end of the day, it's gonna be going great. They have several segments, but the main segment, which is the 1604 between Bandera and I-10, in a perfect world, that they're estimating that to be completed in 2025.
Okay, so we have about 2 years to go.
Yeah, about 2. Well, it's 2024, fool.
Well, yeah, I know, but they're not probably not gonna be done in January 1 of 2025.
That's true.
They're gonna drag
but
everything. There's a street by my house that was supposed to be done in 2023.
Yeah.
They're not done yet. And it's just a street.
Yeah, that's true. But they made a lot of, I don't know.
They've made a lot of headway.
Yeah. And if it's anything close to that 281 area, I think it's going to be a lot easier.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I can't wait.
Yeah. I can't wait either.
I just, for 2 reasons. Obviously better travel, but they just look so pretty when they're first done.
Mm-hmm. I know.
It's nice and clean.
It never lasts.
So fresh. I just love it.
So there is light at the end of the tunnel. It's not going to be a forever project, guys. So we're anticipating 2025. So that is just a good thing to note and be prepared for.
So when you're frustrated in that traffic, just go, 2025 is coming, baby.
Hey.
It's about to be March. Mm-hmm. And what is what we all think of?
St. Patty's, baby.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite holidays. And I don't even really know why it's one of my favorites.
I think it's just because we're supposed to drink that day.
Well, that, and there's no expectation of making a big stinking meal or decorating a whole bunch. There's not a lot of stress involved. It's just go have fun, bye.
And I'm not Irish.
Whatever day of the week it is.
Yeah, I'm not Irish at all. I have a little red here, so sometimes I just pretend like I'm Irish. But
he wears a little hat.
Dances
around.
But literally for a long time, I haven't done this in a while actually. But that was the only holiday that I really enjoyed celebrating. We'd go out. There was a place I used to call Sherlock's off of 281 and Thousand Oaks, I believe. Mm-hmm. Right. But they would literally block out the entire the parking lot. They'd have concerts. It was so much fun. Bunch of memories on that as well. But I don't know. They don't have that anymore. I haven't done any of that. They're doing a bunch of pub runs downtown, and and also Bud Light is actually hosting a whole event downtown for St. Patty's. They're gonna end up painting. They're gonna end up putting some dye,
typical
green dye in the Riverwalk. So that's gonna be cool. Which it's already green anyway. So I don't know how much more dye they need to add. But they
Aw.
started off on March 16th downtown. They're going to be having a bunch of events, including a river parade and all that cool stuff. So you have plenty of things to do. I don't think I'll be going downtown. I think I might just do a quick Hills and Dells or something like that. But
What day of the week does it land on this year?
St. Patty's lands on a Sunday, so that's going to be interesting. So the one days that I can potentially take off is on Monday-ish,
Yeah.
besides our live
Possibly.
event, you know?
Mhm.
But yeah, so lands on a Sunday. I'm curious what you're going to be doing. What are you going to do?
I have no idea. We always try to do something. St. Patrick's Day in the past has gotten me into trouble, though. So, we try to have fun, but, dial it down a little bit. Plus, I'm pretty sure Pete will be working the next day, so, so we're going to keep it cool. So I once got fired the day after St. Patrick's Day.
What the heck happened?
So I wasn't gonna do anything. And I didn't have my kids at night. And this is before Pete and I got married. And I was just like, you know what? Screw this. I'm not gonna be at home alone. Like, just bored, So I went out. Pete met me out. We had a great time. I went home. I passed out, and I just didn't wake up till like 10 o'clock the next day.
Damn.
And apparently my bosses had been calling me, like, are you coming in? But of course I was passed out, I didn't hear it. So I called them, and then I find out that they went as far as calling my mother. I'm in my 30s. And they called my mom to find out where I was. How's my mom gonna know? I don't live with my mom. I'm a grown human, like. Not only that, but who really tries to find somebody if they don't show up for work? Who really does that? It was bizarre. So, anyways, I had time off still that I could take. So really, it would have just been either unpaid time off or paid time off, whichever one that they really decide. But instead, they fired me. They called me in the afternoon over the phone and fired me.
That is wild.
And the funny thing is that they were an HR company, and I'm pretty sure firing somebody over the phone is just
not
it's a little
HRable.
Yeah. I don't think y'all are really doing the right thing here, but I'll take my leave. My boss didn't like me. I don't know why she didn't like me. She would always try to blame things on me that had nothing to do with me, and being the little investigator I was, I would find out what the problem was, find out the solution, how it happened, and give her all my findings, and I would do it with a really nice attitude, like, here we go, I found out what the problem was, here's the solution, and here's what we can expect, and these people are taking responsibility because they knew about it, but they didn't tell us, and da-da-da, and our clients will be okay because they're going to do this to ensure that. And I guess that just really got under her skin because it was extremely thorough. And so she would just be looking, scowling at me, And I'm like, dude. But she would do things in public and yell at me in the hallway saying that I caused this or that problem. And I'm like, I haven't even been in that system for days because I don't need to be in that system. How could I have made a problem? But I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know. I do not miss working for the corporate world.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, sometimes you have uncontrollable situations like that. It really sucks. I remember when I was working in the corporate world too, I had plenty of those. But it's funny because you're right. When you actually work, if you're a good worker, it makes it worse for them because you're just
because I'm like, you can't even prove that I did anything bad. And not only that, but I can prove where the problem came from.
Yeah.
And I've already spoken to the company or our, what is it called? Our resource that we're using. And this is what they've insured to me. So I'm handling all the business, and instead you're just so petty. You're just trying to make me look bad for what? It was really, really weird.
So yeah, she probably streamlined it, found an excuse, and be
mean.
Fire.
We did have an episode about bad bosses.
Ooh, that'd be good.
Because this lady was so mean that she never took me out to lunch, but when she found out I was in the middle of a divorce, she was like, "Oh, we should go to lunch," and I'm like,
I don't understand why people like.
And she put me in her car. Oh, you can drive with me. I'll drive. I'll do this. I'll do that. And then she turned on Pink, the most sad breakup songs ever. And I'm going through it. I was so already heartbroken.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in the back of her car don't cry. Don't cry. You don't even hardly know these people. Keep it together. Keep it together. I'm really trying to just lock my emotions down. And she's just like going through song after song of depressing stuff. I was like, really? What the hell is wrong with you?
I do not understand that mindset of
Yeah.
people who bask on the unfortunate situations of other people. Like, where they're just like, they want to know, and they're so like, that is
That's
so
weird.
strange to me.
It was weird, and it was just after she found out I was going through a divorce. Like, all of a sudden she wants to, like, I'm like, it was really odd behavior.
That is
I don't
weird.
understand it at all.
Yeah. I don't know, like, my bad boss experiences are just mainly just them just sucking at their job and blaming everybody else and
Typical.
like, yeah, typical
Yeah.
stuff. I don't know. I can't stand people like that.
It was rough, but
Yeah.
anyway, so when they fired me over the phone, I was just like, man, I'm so tired of this
Yeah.
petty drama. Like, I'm ready to go anyway.
So you should be grateful on St. Patty's
That's
Day.
right, St. Patty saved me.
St. Patty saved you from a horrible position.
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah, so I'm excited about it. I'm gonna go make sure I get a little green beer, but I just can't hang the way I used to anymore, man. Like, I'm
I know, you're
such
pretty
a,
weak.
I am very weak when it comes to alcohol. Like, like before I was like,
So now you understand where I was coming from for so long.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want no shots. No,
yeah,
no.
yeah. For me now, it's like 2 beers a shot, then I need to sit down for a while. Like, let me let that
He has
linger.
to take a knee.
Yeah, take a knee and then maybe recap again. But yeah, I'm excited about it. What are y'all gonna do for St. Patty's Day? Let us know down below.
According to Pete, an elephant cannot jump.
I don't believe that.
He's the only animal, or she is the only animal that cannot jump.
Really?
So
I
if
could
you
have sworn.
So if you can't jump, are you an elephant or a white man? I just saw this story today about a rampage that started in San Antonio and ended in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, why am I not hearing about this? Did you hear about this?
I didn't hear anything about it now.
So this dude, Shane James, apparently murdered his parents here in San Antonio and then went to Austin. I don't know what for. Party after murdering your parents? I don't get it. And then when he was there, he ended up parking somewhere, and a cop went and like tapped on his door and startled him. And this, I guess he had the gun still in his hand because he shot the cop. He shot the cop in the leg.
Damn.
And the cop retreated, and so did Shane James. He drove off, and the cop just went to go get help for himself because he was shot in the leg, and you could bleed to death, right?
Yeah.
So from there, police get a call about a drive-by shooting.
Mm.
So apparently he went to these couple of people that were walking
Yeah.
and started shooting at them. Well, it was a man, a woman, and a stroller, baby in the stroller. And he shot the guy. The woman runs and goes to some house and starts banging on the door. And they have camera footage of him pulling up in his SUV, getting out, and shooting at her.
Wow.
And then driving off. And unfortunately, both of those people lost their lives. No mention of the baby. I think the baby's fine, but both of them have passed away.
Wow.
I mean, I just don't understand. Like, he's just picking random people.
Yeah.
Then he shot someone else who was riding their bike on Slaughter Lane. And they don't give any information about whether or not that person died, but they were shot nonetheless. Then, like 5 or 6 hours later, police get a call about a burglary in progress. A man is seeing on his security system that someone's trying to kick in his door.
Yeah.
And so he calls the police. He lets them know that his wife and daughter are at home, and the police respond and get to the home within 2 minutes. When they get there, the wife and daughter have already been shot, and they pass away. But not before getting into a shootout with police, where one officer was shot several times.
Yeah.
And then finally, Shane James just gave up on his own. What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why?
I saw, well, we were looking at this, that there was a lot about mental health and stuff like that, but it's just, that's so unfortunate, and I think also in some of this information, it was saying that he actually got arrested previous to this because he actually had physically assaulted his parents, before all of this happened. So there was already signs of him, like
like being on this trajectory.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm really curious what's the motive? You know what I'm saying? Like what caused him to actually make that?
Yeah.
And then like I'm thinking, well, like after after his parents, he's just like, well, like screw it, like I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like let me just see what other havoc I can cause in the world. So they don't know where he was after he shot the two walkers.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do anything for like 5 hours, and they don't have any idea what was going on. So, you know, it just makes you wonder: is there other people out there that maybe were victims of a crime and they just don't know it was him?
Yeah, because as you say that, like I'm thinking, how do they know that he committed those other crimes? Like, is it just because those other people identified them?
Camera.
Oh, the camera. Oh,
Yeah.
you said that. Okay. Yeah. Jesus.
It's like, but you know, the other thing is like, well, why did he pick like the home that he tried to get into? Why did he pick that home?
I mean, but if
Like
he's doing things that are random, then it must have been just a random. Let me just do this, you know?
Yes.
Like I don't know, but then so the call that they got was because it was in progress, but he was able to get in the house,
Apparently so.
and it was just the lady and her daughter.
56-year-old woman and her
Yeah.
30-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, maybe this isn't the right time to bring it up, but if somebody's trying to kick in your door and you have a gun in the home, it might be time to grab it, you know, and
Well, that's the thing.
defend
It's like,
yourself.
you know, I was going to that. I was leading to that. Like, I'm huge on self-defense. I'm huge on that, like, and, you know, or not like Second Amendment type of thing, but the idea that we have to be careful. Like, there's just so many negative things out there that can happen in the blink of an eye. But the thing about it, guys, like, I mean, not to be all talking about this, like, in a
Lightly.
yeah, but like I always tell people, look, have home defense, but I'll practice it, because there's no point on having a gun or whatever you never use it or know how to use it and something happens. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's just be aware, be self-aware of just things that I've researched. Is at home, for perfect self-defense weapon at home, a shotgun, right? So make sure that, because it's an easy thing to do, like it's an easy thing to
Yeah.
load up. It's easier to like actually hit a target, you know what I'm saying, versus a handgun. And then, you know, so there, and then I know that there's a lot of people that are against like ARs and stuff like that, but at the same time, like if you don't have a shotgun, you have that as an option. You have multiple ammunition to protect yourself, and I'm just big on that. And when it comes to self-defense at my house, like there's specific things in place. There's even, with me and my son, we talk about like practices. If something happens, where do you go, what to do.
Yeah.
I've taken him to the gun range several times, so he has that muscle memory and stuff like that. But can you imagine you seeing that from, like me as a dad, or like, you know, seeing that happening at home, right? Me calling the cops, hey, there's a break-in, whatever. Like, I would be terrified, but I'll also be confident because there's things in place for this specific situation. Not saying that it would have been differently or whatever, you know. It's unfortunate, but yeah, like it's with stuff like this, you know, like you want to be prepared. You know, you just don't know. Like this guy, I mean, it could have been. We don't know his motive for this specific house, but if it was as random as the people that he was like
shooting out on the street.
shooting out on the street, like, you know, that could be anybody. You know?
Exactly. I mean, it's just scary and so unfortunate. And you know, so he made bail. He made bail because of a Texas company or non-profit that
Top or whatever
that believes in everybody being able to have bail, right? I don't agree.
But I don't see like stuff like that.
So, but okay, so we just saw a minute ago that he had already been on some kind of house arrest where he had to wear an ankle monitor for some reason, and he cut it off. Mm-hmm. To me, like, that already shows his flight risk.
Yeah.
You know, he shouldn't have even been given the option for bail, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And then for some organization outside of his circle to help him achieve bail, like, for what?
I'm curious if it goes down to the mental health thing. I'm curious if that's why they felt some empathy to put him off of bail, because maybe they know more about the situation in regards to mental health.
But are they a mental health company that's actually going to take ownership of his behavior while he's on bail?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of responsibility. That's totally different. Like, giving somebody, bail money versus the responsibility of what they do when they're out. I mean, who's going to take responsibility for what I do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody. They're going to say, no, Jessica, you're in charge of what you do, and, you're responsible for what you do.
So what does it mean then that he's on, like, he's out walking around?
He's out walking around.
That is wild.
Yeah. I mean, how safe do you feel?
That's what I'm saying. Look, guys, look, I'm going to say this once, right? And if we talk about but we're in Texas. Protect yourself. Take classes. Go practice and make sure that you understand the tools that you're using, because, guys, it is important to have that self-defense, at least the ability to self-defend yourself.
Yeah. Do
it, guys. Pew pew.
I mean, everybody wants somebody else to save them in this world, Yeah. It just feels like that. Tell me what to do. Lead me by the hand to be successful. Lead me by the hand to be safe. No, at the end of the day, you're the one who's in charge of your life. You're the one who's writing your side of the story.
You know, like, I'm gonna be, oh man, like this might be, this definitely is not gonna be a popular thing, but I'm always curious about the full picture. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm
very interested.
Like, in comparing it, this is a silly comparison, but the idea remains the same. Like, have you seen the movie Joker?
Mm-hmm.
So the idea, like, of what he experienced as a person, like,
Definitely.
Granted, the actions are never excusable. Like,
right.
These are people's lives that were lost, but
right. But we've made a stew of nonsense in our society.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just curious, like, if they're ever gonna kind of do a deep dive on, just so we can kind of, like, the more aware we are of what causes somebody to do stuff like this, I think we can possibly try to get ahead of it as much as possible before things happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we, as a society, we can just realize, okay, these people are feeling these ways because these are actions that we're taking as a society that we should probably consider maybe a little bit of evaluation. Because even in our day-to-day things, right, we're very fortunate. We're very fortunate to be where we're at and, like, have the things we have. But there's some things that we do on a regular basis that people can, like, see as, man, that's not fair, and then it's like, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
not that we need to change our lives for it, but it's just having an awareness to be like, oh man, these are things that we can possibly just try to just be more aware of the fact that it can be affecting somebody negatively. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, to me, this is a topic that I could talk about all day long on. I think that everybody is experiencing a lot of things in our society that is not healthy in a lot of different ways. But at the end of the day, I think extreme change needs to happen in our society. I think the connection that human beings are supposed to experience in daily life, we have... We've turned our lives into, I live in my bubble, I live in my bubble, I live in my bubble. Like, oh, you're too close to me, get out of my bubble. Oh, you're, mind your business, don't talk to me about what I'm doing. All these ways that we've put up walls, and then people feel so alone, and they're frustrated, and they don't know why they feel that way, but it's because we've created all these barriers between us. And I think that, to me, is the core of all of these problems.
Yeah. And I think too, like, one other thing is that people sometimes feel like, and I surround myself with people who genuinely care about each other. Like, I don't allow myself to be with anybody that has, like, this ignorant, like, I need to be on top, I need to be the best, I need to make the more money. Like, people like that, I just don't hang around with them. But I know that there's a lot of people out there that carry themselves that way, And it's sad because of that type of mentality really, it's really demeaning towards other people. Even like, for example, like someone that's willing to step on other people to be successful, which unfortunately there's a lot of those people, really have a huge and very huge negative footprint on the mentality of society and how people get successful.
Absolutely.
Which I feel like what's really cool about social media is that it's exposing a lot of those type of people, which is great because then we can kind of say like more and more people are realizing that's not the way to do things.
Yeah.
But that is still, I feel like, a huge factor in how people are getting those negative sensations, or they're like, man, like you know what I mean, like
I feel like a lot of things happened in very recent history with just people fighting for their rights. For one, women's rights, right? Women can do everything. I can do everything. I can, even some of them I can do better than you because I'm a woman, whatever. And it put everything into this competition mode where it just leached into everything. And it's always to where like, oh, I don't need you, I don't need this, I don't need that, I can, I. And then we got into sports, right? And it's like, be the best, work hard, study hard, do all these things like to where life is hard. When really we should be loving what we're doing. We should be enjoying what we're studying. We should be not competing with everybody, but improving with everybody. And because of those mentalities that had to push through just for equality, it made a mindset shift to where we're not all working together anymore. I'm working for me and mine. You're working for you and yours. And if you're doing better than me, it means you're beating me and I'm losing. And now I need to do better because I don't want to be the loser. I want to be part of the winner's circle. And so it made everything a this or that situation when that's not the case.
And you know what? Like, I think that competition and all that is super healthy because it does challenge us to think outside of our own box. And the challenge, I think, is healthy, but I think it's the mindset of the challenge. You know what I'm saying?
Finish line.
Of the finish
line. There's no
line.
real finish line, guys.
But
death is the finish line.
But for example, like, I don't know if this makes sense, but this is only an example that I can think of. Like, for Ethan, I tell him, like, look, man, like, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't expect straight A's. Like, I expect you to pass your class, but I expect you to have the knowledge of why you're passing your class. That's more important to me. Your effort and your knowledge. Right? Like, the grades will be there. You'll be passing, you're going to be fine as long as you actually comprehend what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But that pressure to have just straight A's, I think that's unhealthy. But the same concept
because you're fighting for a marker, you're not fighting for an education.
Exactly.
Anymore.
And the same thing for, like, challenging us to do, like, to be first or number one. Like, I think it's like, my mom always told me, it's like, you need to be the best at your job. She was never like, you need to be better than anybody. She's like, you need to be the best at your job. If you're a mopper, you be the best mopper for yourself. You know what I'm saying? The quality of my work.
Right.
But I feel like that's the difference, is the quality is to be the best, but at that specific thing, not better than...
Provide excellence, not to be number one, because you know what? If the next person underneath me does a crappy job and I'm better than them, who cares?
And then, but it also puts you in a position, right? So let's have this mindset to where we work for excellence, right? Now you become a leader, but that leader is not so you can be better than everybody. It's so you can help this other person become. You know what I'm saying?
It's to like improve themselves, and that's what I think we're missing in our society, is that tribe mentality where we're all in this together. Let's all go together. The person at the front is only at the front because we believe in them, not because they're the winner, not because they're the best, but because we believe in what they can show us. And I think that's crucial, and I think that's what a lot of people are missing. They're too alone, they don't feel connected, and they're lashing out. Man, it's all pain, and they're exposing their pain through giving it away to everybody else around them.
It's so sad. It's so sad. Like, that I feel that way anytime I see stories like this. Like, the surface is there, right? And the surface is the fact that it's not a good action. Like, people suffer, people died, and that's, like, it's very sad. But I also think about, man, like, what is going on?
What precipitated all of this?
What is going on? Like, what, and then hindsight is 20/20, right? And we can't fix the past, but I'm just curious on whenever you really think about, like,
what red flags were missed and what could have been done.
Exactly. And how can we apply that to the near future? You know what I'm saying? We can't save everybody, but it's just like at the end of the day, I really think it's really us just setting the example as much as possible. Like nobody's perfect, but the effort to know that, hey, like let's work as a unit versus as an isolated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or you know,
we're not on an island, guys. We're
Yeah.
all here together. We all have to figure this out together.
And you know what you're doing? This thing right now, this whole
my kindness challenge.
Yeah, and I think that's
Join
really
my
good.
kindness challenge.
Yeah. You put it so you say your Instagram and all that stuff soon.
Oh well, follow me on Facebook, Jessica Requejo.
Yeah. So she's
That's where
doing
it's at mostly.
this kindness challenge, which is actually really cool because it's just a reminder to everybody every day. Hey, like it's really refreshing. So continue doing that.
you.
But it kind of ties into what we're doing. It's just like you know, just having that reiteration, the reminder. You know, what I'm saying keeping it open.
They're all easy things.
Yeah.
They're all easy, short, quick things you can do. One a day. You know.
Love it.
Just make this world a little brighter place.
Yeah.
Let's put away all this negativity because, I don't know, it makes me feel icky.
I know. Me too.
And it's sad because, you know what? He ruined these people's lives, but his life was already ruined for whatever reason, and it sucks.
Yeah. At the end of the day, guys, it's unfortunate. Prayers for everybody.
Yeah.
Self-defense. Now it's time for our
Dare on Air.
Look at let's get the energy going because we ready? Now it's time for our Dare on Air. Let's go. I think you're up. Oh wait, yeah, you're up. I did the push-ups.
Dang, he did push-ups. All right.
Joe, you're gonna drop it again.
Don't you put them curses on me, Ricky Bobby. It's blank.
There it goes.
And I got all scared. That's too cocky. It's gonna be a 5. Oh,
No,
19. We're doing that one.
Oh my god. I have a big forehead.
It's gonna be great.
Oh my god. Okay.
Alright, so y'all are gonna laugh at this. He has to change his profile pic to a forehead pic for an hour.
Oh man, and I have a lot of forehead. They're gonna think I'm.
You got a 7 head.
They're gonna think it's the Enchanted Rock. They're like, what?
You don't have to do it this way, do it that way.
Oh my
Maybe like
god.
Enchanted Rock
Okay, well, let's
with
take the
nose
picture now.
numbers.
It's just my forehead?
Yeah, do you know how to do it?
Like this? Wait, what the heck? Huh?
No. So you have to go like.
That's not my forehead, that's my face.
That's a forehead pic.
Why look at all my wrinkles?
Hold on, I think you're supposed to.
Oh my god, this is gonna be so bad. I love it. Do I look down? Do I look up?
Look up. I can't do it.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, look at me.
Hold on, let me see it. I have so many. Oh my god. That is horrible. What? That is. Oh, dude, this sucks. This sucks. Oh my god. Okay. That sucks. Oh man. At least it's only an hour.
Y'all go check out his page after this. And
Yeah.
y'all like the shit out of that.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Alright.
Suck. Alright guys. The profile pic has been updated. Go like my big ass forehead. Oh man, this sucks.
Thank you for joining us and giving us this opportunity to have the most fantastic.
Fantastic.
It's fantastic. I love it.
I love it.
The best forehead pic in the whole entire globe.
The best.
It's the best.
Alright guys, see you later. Bye.
Bye.
いのはねですかそういうですよ
You look like you're gonna take over the world.
I look like a fucking Megamind.